Hi and welcome to another episode of Delaware County Political News Meet the Candidate. We are here today with Jerry Sanders. He is a candidate for county sheriff. Jerry Sanders has dedicated his life to serving others, first as deputy sheriff and then as a minister. Jerry Sanders serves as the chaplain of Meadows Retirement Community, where he ministers on a daily basis. In his previous career, Jerry served as deputy sheriff in the Philadelphia Sheriff's Office, rising through the ranks of deputy sheriff all the way to chief inspector. He was responsible for overseeing the operations of the sheriff's civil and criminal divisions, including real estate, sheriff sales, civil enforcement, warrants, criminal court, traffic court, and family court. While serving, Jerry represented the Sheriff's Department on the Family Court Advisory Committees and Criminal Justice Coordinating Committee. Jerry holds a master's degree in Organizational Development and Leadership from St. Joe's University. He is an associate minister at Mount Zion Baptist Church and serves on the board of directors on the church's Community Development Corporation. It's their mission to foster better quality of life in its surrounding community. Jerry is also the president of the board of directors of the 74-unit Reba Brown Senior Residence. Jerry currently serves as the president on the advisory council of Friendship Circle Senior Center in Darby and on the board of trustees at the Baptist Home Foundation. Jerry and his wife Juanita reside in Drexel Hill. Jerry, thank you for joining us here today.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you for the invitation to come and be interviewed on my candidacy for sheriff.
Jerry, you've been in the sheriff's department your entire professional career. Tell us what the sheriff's duties are.
The sheriff is the county peacekeeper. He transports prisoners to and from the prisons. He secures the courtrooms and the courthouse. He serves civil and criminal process, complaint from abuse orders. He also performs sheriff sales of personal property, sheriff sales for taxes, delinquent taxes, and mortgage foreclosures.
When you were sheriff, you also had another career. Tell us about that.
I went into the ministry, and the ministry is one of the things that led me to run for sheriff, because I retired from the sheriff's office. That's my experience and my talent. And as a minister, I'm constantly preaching, don't bury your talents. But if I didn't use that and examine myself, I would be a hypocrite. And so my talents are my experience in the sheriff's office. And I would like to apply those talents for the benefit of the citizens of Delaware County. And that's why I'm running for the office of sheriff.
Tell me about that ministry career.
I am a Baptist minister. And I believe that both careers complement each other in terms of equity and fairness. I think ministry brings sensitivity to the office of sheriff because we have to see people. We have to see people first. It also reminds us of our responsibility to help someone if we can.
How long have you been in the ministry, Jerry?
I've been in the ministry about 10 years.
Currently, what is your position?
I'm chaplain at Meadows Retirement Community. I coordinate religious services, and I'm also associate minister at Mount Zion Baptist Church.
Jerry, you have other activities other than the campaign for sheriff and your ministry. Tell us about that.
Well, an extension of my associate ministry at Mount Zion Baptist Church, I was president of Mount Zion Community Development Corporation. We had a project where we wanted to build a senior housing for seniors in our community, which was part of our mission. And as part of that project, I reached out to Meadows Retirement Community in the Northeast to partner with the CDC to put in a federal application, the Community Development Corporation, also known as CDC, to apply for a federal grant. Our partnership resulted in us being awarded $8.5 million to build a seniors facility that is now known as Reba Brown Senior Residence. That endeavor also revealed to me my greatest strength, and that is I will ask for help. I will ask for help. I asked help by attending the federal seminar on how to apply for that funding. From that seminar, I asked for help by going to Meadows and asked them to give us the benefit of their experience by partnering with us on our application, and we were successful. I asked for help at every juncture. To strengthen our application, I went to every business in the community and asked them to support that application and made it a we thing, not a Mount Zion CDC application, but a community application. And it was by asking for help. And at every juncture, the people said yes.
So you're not a micromanager and you know how to delegate.
Yes.
There has been tension between law enforcement and the community, and you have a unique perspective about law enforcement. Can you share that, Jared?
I believe that law enforcement officers and any public officer, anyone that holds a public position is a public servant. And I think that we have to maintain connections with the community. Now, as an enforcement officer of the court, if someone is going to be evicted, I want them to know what resources there are. If someone's home is going to be sold, I want them to know what avenues do they have to speak to the mortgage company, what relief agencies are there and available. I think that the sheriff should stay abreast of all relief aid that there may be so that we can soften the sting of the service. Well, my approach is balance. There's balance between the safety of the officer and the dignity of the public. I believe in human dignity. What I'm saying is if I'm serving a warrant, then I want to first, if I can safely have the children removed from the room so that they don't have this lasting image of their dad being taken away in handcuffs, I'll give time for those children to be removed before I cuff the defendant or the suspect. If we're in a courtroom, take time and let some of the family, if it's a mother or a grandparent, let them leave before placing handcuffs or restraints on someone so that they'll have a certain amount of dignity maintained. And for the family, they don't have that lasting image of a loved one being handcuffed. So it's little things like that. If you go to a home and you see kids, I had a warrant once. I went to the home and there was no one there but 3 children had been there for 3 days alone. So I had to have at my disposal, I had to know who to call, who in the public domain to call, who in the welfare department to call, who in the child services to call. We have to be abreast of these things and not just mechanically go in, serve whatever order we have without any human interest. And I think that should be part of the training. We should always have the most current updates on what's available to the public.
And your position particularly, are you actually running for an administrative position? Would you be the organizer and supervisor of the entire office?
The sheriff, yes. As the elected sheriff, yes.
Jared, tell us about your family and your background.
My wife and I, we have 4 daughters, 1 son. We have 6 grandchildren. We have a loving family. We all attend Mount Zion Baptist Church. And so we all have ingrained in us love of family, support for family, and we believe that that overflows and ripples into the community. Our kids all have come through public school. I believe in public education. My children have received excellent education in the public schools. Teachers were authority figures.
Where are your children born and raised?
Delaware County.
What experience do you have that prepares you for the sheriff's office?
Larry, I have experience at every level, from entry level to command officer. My former experience as a command officer in Philadelphia Sheriff prepares me for an efficient execution of the sheriff's office in Delaware County. Well, I'll hit the ground running because I know what I'm looking at. I don't have to learn what we do. I don't have to get an understanding at the different levels of what the deputies do. I know. I can really do an assessment of what works that can be fine-tuned to work better. I can do an assessment of what has served its purpose and should be dispensed with.
Jerry, why do you want to run for sheriff?
I want to run for sheriff because I don't want to be guilty and a hypocrite. I teach and I preach, don't bury your talents. And if I didn't run for sheriff, that's what I would be doing. This is what God has given me to bring to the table to help the community. My experience in the sheriff's office, that's my talent, that's my gift, coupled with loving people. I love people. And what can I do for my friends, my family, my community? I can bring my experience to the table in the office of sheriff on behalf of citizens of Delaware County.
What issues are involved in this sheriff's race of 2017? What are you and the other candidate talking about?
We're talking about transparency and accessibility. We think that generally in Delaware County, there's no transparency, there's no accessibility, there's no availability. And we collectively feel that we want to assume office, and just as we are being available now and moving all around the county talking to whoever will listen, we want to maintain that. That doesn't stop when we're elected. We still want to be available. We still want to hear what the people expect. So we have our perspective, but it must conform with what the people expect us to be, what the people expect us to do. It should be more than words of the people, by the people, and for the people. We want to make that a reality. That's what I want to do specifically, and that's what the team that I'm running with would like to do.
And what is your signature influence going to be on the sheriff's department?
Collective responsibility. I want to talk to other agencies. I want us to see that we have a shared responsibility. I would like it to be a situation of iron sharpening iron. What can I do to help? What can I do to help the register of wills? Is there anyone that you're looking for on some document you have that my deputies can help with? What can we do to help each other? And when we help each other on behalf of the public, we're helping the public. So I think we should have open communication among every agency.
Why should the voters vote for you?
I will be a sheriff for the people of Delaware County. I will be accessible to the people that I work for. I will be a sheriff that is equitable and fair. I will be a sheriff that represents and respects human dignity. Because I work for the public. I plan to be available, accessible. I will be receptive to the citizens of Delaware County. I will bring life, and it will be more than words of, by, and for the people. I will be a sheriff of the people, by the people, and for the people of Delaware County.
Who is your biggest influence?
Current or past, or in life?
You answer that any way you want.
My biggest influence is my parents. They still live every day. They're deceased, but they still live. And all that they deposited in me. It's as if the scripture, one waters, one plants, God gives the increase. They watered, they planted, and every day of my life, God gives the increase. The biggest influence is my parents.
How? How did they influence you the most?
They influenced me by instilling in me that an honest day's work is an honest day's work. It has dignity. An honest day's work has dignity no matter what it is. I've never been too proud to apply for any job on behalf of my family. I graduated from St. Joseph University with a master's degree, but at that same university I served as a janitor. And I have respect for people in any position that is an honest day's work.
Well, Jerry, that's all we have time for today. And I want to thank you again for joining us here on Delaware County Political News, Meet the Candidate.
Larry, I want to thank you for taking the time to give me the interview and get some of my views out to the public. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
And you're welcome. Thank you again. Folks, thank you for tuning in on Delaware County Political News. I am your host, Larry DeMarco, and we have been here with Jerry Sanders, candidate for County Sheriff. Bye for now. Please tune in for next time.